Before I started climbing, I used to weigh 45 kilos. I used to walk with a cane because the muscles in my legs had atrophied. I've had a lot of physical and mental health struggles. I always assumed I would die before 30. I was formally diagnosed with an eating disorder when I was probably 17 or 18. I hadn't been eating very well for the previous probably 5 years through school. I was also diagnosed with bipolar and general anxiety disorder at the time. I wasn't eating enough, and since I didn't go outside, I wasn't getting enough sunlight. I had very, very low vitamin D and calcium levels, so my body, to get the calcium it needed, started to dissolve and eat my bones and my teeth. I broken or fractured about 17 bones. Some of these have just been from walking and stepping wrong. And since my bones were so hollow, they were super fragile and they would just snap. I had to walk with the cane. The muscle that I had in my legs had wasted and atrophied away, and I wasn't able to walk properly. Biggest issue I struggle with is my bipolar. I could go from crying, suicidally depressed one day and wake up and be like perfectly okay the next day, and it's just nothing's changed.
Show you around the place.
All right. My very first day in the gym, I sucked. I was so bad at climbing because I was so physically weak, but I had such a good time.
Alley for feet first, then your knees on your butt and your back. Keep your arms in. Lift your arms behind you. Your wrist or your elbow. Keep that back to motion. If you're going sideways, you can also
I immediately left and went and told the one friend I had. I was like, hey, you've got to come climbing with me. There were certain things that I had to be careful of, but nothing I avoided.
Yeah, bouldering. I love bouldering. All right, well, we've got a pretty mad deal on this month.
It wasn't until I started climbing that I started to take my health seriously. Generally, when I do start climbing, I do start to feel better. I do start to feel a lot happier, you know. My body starts moving, endorphins start flowing, and I start feeling a sense of accomplishment of doing something rather than just wallowing in bed all day. My whole world became like so much more open, and it was just enjoyable again. I was climbing like 30, 35 hours a week at the gyms. It was all I thought about doing. The only thing that stopped me climbing more was that my fingertips started bleeding and I had to wait to heal. I do love climbing. Three years ago, I started trying to consistently climb outdoor, and I found that it was a much different challenge. Very interesting spiritual connection to nature that I hadn't noticed before, and it was a lot more peaceful. I got a guidebook, and in the guidebook, there was this thing called the Halous slab. And it was the hardest graded slab at Kangaroo Point. So I was like, I want to check that out. I went and saw it, and I was like, there's no shot that anybody can climb that. Last year, I was like, oh, I could actually send everything at Kangaroo Point. Now I've got about 3 or 4 climbs left. Today, I still struggle with body image and eating disorder, but I like the functionality of my body over what it looks like. There's a whole lot of people who, I'd like to do that one day. One day never comes. Just go and do it. Life is too short to have a whole bunch of, oh, I wish I did that. Make one day today.